what's up? It's your girl Lacora Monet, right back at it. HoodRich Films and Radio. AC3 is kicking off. We're going to have a special guest in the building. She is my last interview of the night. So that makes you so special. Turquoise Music is here with me. How are you?
I'm well. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. You too.
Y'all should see her.
No.
Can they see her? Can everyone see her?
They've been seeing
I feel so bad for the people that are listening on the radio. They're like, what she got on?
Right, right.
Okay, so she is super sexy with the snakeskin jumper.
Slithering all around.
Ooh.
No, look at you. Look at this lip. Is this from your cosmetic line?
This is from my
We about to get all into it. All right, so for those who don't know, who is Turquoise Music?
Turquoise Music is a businesswoman, first and foremost, other than being after being a mother.
Right.
That's first. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm a businesswoman that just happens to be the owner of a cosmetics line, on the board for WOMAT, that's Women in Music and Technology.
Nice.
I'm also an artist, and I consider myself more than an artist. I consider myself an experience. And that's so important because things fade, they wither, they crack, but that sense of nostalgia heightens every time you revisit that. Oh my God, I saw Turquoise Music perform at the HoodRich A3C, welcome to Atlanta. And it was just, and every time they think about it, you know, that those hormones and those pheromones, they heighten the nostalgia. So that's what it's about. It's about creating an experience, you know, something that people will always remember.
So you performed tonight?
I did.
And how was that, an experience?
Of course. It's an experience for me, you know. It's a good thing when people come up to you afterwards and they're like, yo, that was an experience. And it's like, hit the nail right on the head. That was what I was trying to do. You'll never forget it. It's a wrinkle in your brain now.
So you're definitely a performer.
Thank you.
And where do you draw from? Like, where does your inspiration come from when it comes to your music?
Everywhere. I'm a military brat, so I grew up.
You moved around
in a very, very multicultural life, and my mother was a music lover, you know, and my neighbor was a white girl whose sister was into AC/DC and Metallica. And here my mother is listening to, you know, Lena Horne and to John Coltrane.
Wow.
And then the girl that lived next to me is listening to Selena and listening to Roberto Carr and people like that. So just the influence of music just comes from everywhere. And so I do everything. You know, I consider myself the EDM experience, but as a songwriter and as an artist, I do what feels good.
So talk about WOMAT a little bit for those who don't know exactly what that is.
So WOMAT is an organization that was started by Amy Hanks, and she's a PR. She's a super hit PR in the cannabis industry. She lives in Los Angeles, and she created WOMAT because of the lack of women in the music industry. Even when we look at, you know, Grammys and we look at a lot of the award shows, we see the male domination. You know, there are a lot of dope women that are engineers, but they never get their chance because, you know, they're a woman. You know, there's a lot of dope different positions in the music industry that we're just now getting to the point where we're comfortable seeing, you know, a woman in that position of power. And so that is why WOMAT was created, and it stands for Women in Music and Technology. And so we go to different colleges.
What advice do you give to these women, though? Like in the situations you're just explaining now where you don't see a lot of women acting in those roles, what advice would you give to them?
Well, that's what we do. That's actually what we do. We hold panels, we hold conferences. Last year we did Morehouse, we did Spelman, and we did Agnes Scott. And this year we're doing Columbus State, Georgia State, and Georgia Tech.
Okay.
So that's what we do. We go.
So is it just colleges?
It's mostly colleges, and we're getting ready to branch out into actually having some, you know, doing some school visits as far as elementary schools and middle schools. There's a lot of specialty and magnet schools, especially here in the Atlanta area. So it's very important that, you know, we involve the youth and we, you know, let the young women know, the young ladies know that as you're coming up and this is somewhere that you want to be in this industry, it's okay. for you to go after that top spot and to not let anyone belittle you because you don't have a third leg.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about Kill 'Em. Kill 'Em has accrued over 50,000 streams independently.
I'm proud of myself.
That's
I'm learning.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
I know there's a lot of independent artists that they put a lot into, you know, what they do. And it's really hard competing in an oversaturated market now. So that was a feat for me. You know, I put out the Lights On video about 4 years ago, and in all honesty, I feel like I failed, but it was a lesson and I learned because I realized how important marketing, PR, and promotion is. And so I had a really dope video and nobody cared that it was dope because nobody saw it.
Right.
So with this Kill 'Em situation, it's a good thing.
So how do you do it differently now?
So like the things that I've done is I've become more active on social media. I don't favor social media.
Me either.
Social media is not really my thing.
I
try to push myself to be more active, and which I've been doing that. I've really been doing that, and just the lessons learned in that is, you know, like if you're spending, you should be spending 10% on the content creation of your budget, and the other 90% should pretty much be marketing.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest lesson that I learned out of the entire situation. So I'm implementing that right now, and I'm seeing the difference.
Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I wanna hear Kill 'Em.
Yeah, Kill 'Em. People get scared when they hear that. Like,
why?
You did a song called Kill 'Em? And I have to break it down, you know, like the song is really about killing your haters with success. It's really about moving on without feeling vindictive, without regretting, seeking vengeance, and having an open heart and focusing on yourself, because when that person that wronged you sees you hit the next level,
you've already killed them.
Ooh, you've killed them, so kill them with your next move, you know?
I love it. All right, so go ahead and introduce it for us.
So, everyone that's listening to HoodRich Films TV, HoodRich. This is Turquoise music. I'm hanging out with Lacora Monet, OG HoodRich, and you are listening to Kill 'Em.
Let's go.
I'm in my happy place.
we gotta run that back.
Ah,
we have to run it back, okay? Look, that just made me get all the way hyped right now.
Let's run it back.
Let's run it back. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Queen.
I got like all kind of emotions out of that.
That's what's up.
I did.
Wait till you see the video. The video's
I'm so
crazy.
ready for the video.
Yeah,
It's like
crazy. I got a bunch of snakes. I'm licking snakes, and it's just symbolic. You know, we get in bed with snakes. You know, we've
all the time.
And that's not necessarily, you know, literally in bed, you know, like, I mean, just with business.
Anything.
Everything, you know, there's haters everywhere, you know, and if you focus on them, like, you'll never get anywhere. Like, you gotta learn the lessons and kill them with success.
Absolutely. So who produced this
This
record?
is produced by Just.
Okay.
And,
do you work with them a lot?
I do work with him a lot. I have a lot of music with Just. Shout out to my boy Bruiser Music as well, my boy Ian.
Nice.
Yeah, so Just is really cool. He's he works with Rakim a lot.
Okay.
He's done a lot of stuff, a lot of the latest stuff that Rakim has put out, and he's a super talented guy. He's got another side, as you can hear, because
yes.
I'm sure you wouldn't imagine Rakim on something like that, but yeah, he's really dope guy. He's got a lot of facets, and the boy's he's like a church boy though. You know, it's funny because he plays the drums, and he learned all this in church. You know, wow. So he comes from the church, so he's got that soul. But then he turns around and produces stuff like Kill Him. So yeah, he's cool guy.
So what's like your goal? Like, what do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 years?
5 years is pretty easy because I definitely see myself as a millionaire. I have a plan to get there because I've embellished myself in the music industry and any way to capitalize off the music industry from, I just got my first job actually as a music supervisor.
Nice!
Yeah,
Congratulations!
HBO documentary, so
Wow.
I'm like amazed at that. And then I got a call the other day from Ultra Music, which is one of the biggest EDM labels in the world, and they just signed a new producer and they want me to sing on the track, so I'm recording that on Monday. Just got about 3 more placements on HGTV, MTV, and Viceland. So,
That's
you know, I'm just
so
trying to make
exciting.
money in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, these are my gifts, and my gifts are not limited. You know, so any way that I can capitalize off of them is definitely going to be an avenue. I'm going to at least try.
Right. So talk to me a little bit about your cosmetic line, because that lip that you're wearing is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, darling. This is my line. It's called Turquoise, and it's like, you know, the effect. Oh, turquoise. Oh,
Yes.
that's so turquoise. Okay.
Oh.
It's 100% vegan.
Nice.
It's 100% vegan. Yeah, we don't hurt the aminals. We
Right.
love the aminals.
No cruelty
We love
to
the
the
aminals. So, I created it because I am just like, I like to be gaudy. I like to be flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to love the animals, and I like to
Absolutely,
not
yeah.
purchase things that are, you know, that use, you know, animal byproducts
Tested
in
or
them.
anything.
Yeah, or tested
Yeah.
on animals. Yeah, because we are cruelty free as well. And it's bigger than the makeup, you know. I really, more than anything, created it because I needed something that could create a residual to be able to give back. So I actually sponsor Hip Hop for Cancer with one of my colors, Aid Atlanta as well. So I'm looking for other 501c3 nonprofits to create a color for and have 25% of the proceeds go to them. So
That's so awesome.
it's bigger than the makeup.
That's so awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So any other shout outs?
I want to shout out my big bro, Granddaddy. That's what my kids call him. They like,
Granddaddy.
that's OG Granddaddy right there. They love OG. Yeah, they wouldn't call him that if they didn't respect him.
Yeah.
You know, they respect their grandfather. So, yeah, definitely a lot of love. Shout out to OG. Shout out to you, Lacora.
Thank you.
You're awesome. I see a lot of your interviews because, you know,
Thank you.
I rock with the HoodRich family.
Yes.
So I see all your stuff. You're dope.
Thank you.
It's food. So, yeah, I want to shout out my girl, Ama Salafa, in the building. Shout out to Jakir Productions. And shout out to my kids, Journey and Justice
Yes.
and Shalani, also known as the J-Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Well, I appreciate you for coming through, chopping it up with me.
no worries. Thank you for having
A3C.
me.
So are you performing anywhere else this weekend?
No, I'm actually doing a lot of the events with Earth Girl.
Okay.
And so that's going to be at Tree Sound Studio. So
Nice.
I'm looking forward to, you know, meeting some women like myself and yourself that,
Yeah.
again, you know, I'm girl power. Can't you tell?
Yes, all day. But that's so good. That's amazing. And then to be as experienced and knowledgeable as you are, to be able to give that advice and stuff back, that's awesome.
Thank
That's
you. I
great.
appreciate that.
That's great. All right, well, we're about to wrap it up and get up out of here. Thank you so much, like I said, for coming through.
Thank you
Can't
for
wait
having
to
me.
do this again. Ready for you to drop that visual
Ooh.
so we can come back and talk about that.
Yes, October 31st.
Yes. Oh, you're gonna drop it on
Halloween.
Of course you would drop it on Halloween. When else did you drop it? All right, let's get out of here. It's your girl, Lacora Monet, Turquoise Music, HoodRich TV and Radio. We're out.